What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Pooski and welcome back to the channel. And ladies and gentlemen, round one, week one of PBA League is all finished and all done. And let me tell you, it was quite interesting. First of all, I'm gonna need y'all to do something before we get started. If you don't have one in your house, I'm gonna need you to go to the store and I'm gonna need you to grab a broomstick and a nice dustpan because, ladies and gentlemen, this was nothing but a sweep week. Every single team, not every single team, but all the matches were sweeps. No roll-offs, no nothing. Just straight up. Were there some surprises? Yes, there were. Now, let's go ahead and get into who was there and not there. Let's get into, I guess we can call it the injury slash not there report. The only manager there at this one, well, the only two managers was Tim Mack and Jason Belmonte. Parker Bone, he was in a tournament in Finland with his son Brandon. Hopefully they did well. And all the rest of them, they had prior engagements. I'm pretty sure the battlers were out there with Alyssa at Vegas, possibly, I don't know. And Jason Couch and all of them, Little Monticelli and all of them, they probably were doing something busy. It is what it is. We all knew this was going to happen, but Kyle Sherman, he was injured. He was probably the only person that was truly injured. I'm not sure what's going on with him, probably his hip. But yeah, he was the only person that had a true injury that I know of. Tom Darty, he showed up late. So did Bill O'Neill. I don't know what happened. Maybe they overslept. Maybe they just forgot about it and been like, "Oh, it's not. We gotta go. We got PBA Elite today." Who knows? But they made it for round two, which they did two matchups, which I'm not understanding why they did that, but it is what it is. They did two matchups during this day after round one, and then I guess the other matches around two will be on TV, so we'll have to wait for that, and we're probably gonna go live for that. Wes Malott and BJ Moore did not show up because of weather. I'm pretty sure because of the storm on the East Coast, they couldn't get there. It's all right. They showed up for the Players Championship, though. They were there for the Players Championship. Now we got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and get into the matches. The New Jersey Kingpins took on the Akron Atom Splitters, and the Akron Atom Splitters come out with a win in game one, 217-215. Very close game, and some of these games were extremely close. But the one thing about the PBA League is that it's literally league. They keep the quad box up, and you will be able to watch every single match on one screen. Because if you have to click and how Bold TV acts up sometimes because their freaking app doesn't work, because every single time you click a new channel on their app, it says that you're in a new device even though you're just on the freaking app. If you wanted to watch solo matches, then you could click through each channel, but on the main channel they kept it as quad box, but the only thing is that I kind of noticed, and I kind of sort of was like, because I can't really talk about the players and who did well and who didn't, because it was hard to keep track because you were watching this person, and it was like sometimes they would throw somebody in, like Jason Belmonte was throwing Kaiko in at like the 10 frames just to see how he was doing. It was just very hard to keep track of the lineups. But these matches were close, but if you really like paid attention to them, you would see like, oh, they need this, they need that. You know, it's one of those things. You know, it's the beginning. We'll get through it, okay? And in game two, like I said, every single match was a sweep. The Atom Splitters beat the Kingpins 198-178, which means the Akron Atom Splitters start off 1-0, and the New Jersey Kingpins, which I had at number 2 on my power rankings, preseason power rankings, they start off 0-1. Next was the Las Vegas High Rollers versus the Motown Muscle. And I gotta say, I'm Little Monticelli. You picked one heck of a team because they won game 1, 198 to 191. That was a very close game. Motown Muscle just could not get the job done. And game 2, the High Rules defeated the Motown Muscle 218 to 214. I gotta say, maybe the Anthony Simonson, EJ Tackett duo, maybe that ain't it. Maybe it ain't it. Maybe there's a trade coming between them two. One of them two. Maybe it's not it. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see, all right? Because right now, and how they have been in the past years, ain't sitting too pretty. Motown Muscle starts off 0-1, and the Las Vegas High Rollers start off 1-0. Next match was the Dallas Strikers versus LAX, and let me tell you, Jason Belmonte is one heck of a manager. That man is all about adjusting and communicating. That's what helped them get these wins. LAX defeated the Dallas Strikers in game 1, 213 to 184. And I remember game 2. I remember seeing that because literally the first 5 frames the LAX spared. They communicated, said what was going on, and they struck out to finish 244 to 215, defeating the Strikers 2-0 and starting off 2-0. The LAX and the Dallas Strikers sadly start off 0-1. And now for the matchup that everyone was waiting for, the repeat of the finals last year. The Portland Lumberjacks versus the Waco Wonders. And I gotta say, this was the most anticipated match this week. And I gotta say, Tim Mack knew what he was doing by just getting all his guys back, because that chemistry and how they just roll over the competition is just mind-blowing. And I gotta say, of course, you know, Waco, they have new players, and you know, they did a lot of changes and switches. So, you know, the Waco Wonders, you know, they had a lot of changes during the off-season / draft. So, you know, they don't have that chemistry like the Portland Lumberjacks, because my God, the Portland Lumberjacks defeated them Waco Wonders 254 to 216 in game 1, and then in game 2 they beat them 279 to 213. I gotta say, chemistry is the way of this game for this Portland Lumberjacks, because I mean, if they keep this going all season, my God, they're going to be a team that nobody, and I mean nobody, can mess with. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into these power rankings. Let's see where I have these teams. Of course, staying at the top spot, I have the Portland Lumberjacks. I mean, look at them. I just said their scores. I mean, they just are top with chemistry, and just, I can see them going all the way. Next, we have at number 2, the LAX. They move up 3 spots just because they have communication, and Jason Belmonte is going to show how good of a manager he is. The Las Vegas High Rollers, I have them at the 3rd spot. They move up 1 spot from the 4. Little Monticelli, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing with this team, all right? And at number 4, we have the Akron Atom Splitters. Now, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. This 3 to 5 spot, I was questioning it, okay? I was questioning it due to the fact that the Waco Wonders played the Portland Lumberjacks, but their total pinfall would have beaten some of these other teams, and how much they got in their games, they would have beat them. So it was kind of up in the air for me. I mean, they were playing some chemistry. Yes, they're the defending champs, but you know, they got a whole new roster almost. It was up in the air for me, man. It was very, very up in the air. But I have the Akron Atom Splitters at the number 4 spot. They move up 3. And I have the Waco Wonders at the number 5 spot. They move up 1. At number 6, I have the Motown Muscle, and this is the first team that moves down 3 spots. I mean, that chemistry between EJ and Anthony, I'm hoping that it works, because they're 2 of the best players on tour, man. I mean, God, man, why wouldn't that work? I mean, next we have the Dallas Strikers. and they move up one spot. I know why, because of their total pinfall, because they New Jersey Kingpins. I had them at number 2, and like I said, they dropped down 6 spots all the way to last. I mean, I guess I'ma call it an off week. It's week 1. Everyone is just getting back into it. It was a struggle for them. So that is my power rankings. That is week 1 of PBA Elite League. Can't wait for round 2. Of course, like I said, we already had 2 matches. We're going to go over them in the next one, in the next recap video, because don't want to get ahead of ourselves and mix ourselves up. Ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, and subscribe. I can't wait to see what else happens with this PBA Elite League. And I was questioning something because of how someone was rolling this week. The main 2 guys that I was paying attention to, I'm going to be honest, this week was TJ Rock.
Oh, way left. Damn, go.
And the rookie of the year last year, Tyler Cortez Schneck or Sheck or whatever. Him. I was paying attention to him. Let me tell you, this man started off his days with 300s. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. I was just bamboozled by that. Will they have free agents? Because I could see him as a pickup, a true pickup, because on one of these teams, he could really help. He could really help. If he goes on Portland, I mean, he's not going to have the chemistry with him, but I mean, it would help. It would help. Yeah, that's all I had to ask. If there's going to be free agents, probably not, but that was on my mind. I had to get it off. Y'all go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.